Good morning, everyone. Welcome into Flying with Mike. Thank you so much for taking some of your Independence Day, for those of you here in the States with us, to spend with us, and hope you all enjoy today. As it says, well, first off, go figure, X-Plane. Yeah, surprise. They dropped a release on us last night. And so we are now in 2.1. Woohoo! That puts us one step closer to 3.0. Got a few betas to go through, I'm sure, but hey, shouldn't be a long run through this. I didn't see much on the list other than a lot of, like they said, would be those of you that make airports, for the sim. You got some more stuff you can populate it with. And there was a heliport added, and I believe that too was announced. So, yeah, now it's on for 3.0. And why it's so important, that's when the radars get updated. If you were harking back around Christmas time, maybe a little earlier, X-Plane released a couple of YouTube videos of what was to come. Now, we were hoping back in the 1.0 days. Ooh, were we wrong. So, but they're coming. They're almost here. And hallelujah. It'll be interesting to see how this will play out, how this will work. I'm going to need schooling personally, but we'll get through it. We'll be able to show it off. So today's flight is in X-Plane 12, obviously, 2.1, Beta 1. So hope y'all enjoy whatever new little things are out and about there. Also, remiss yesterday. I saw it at work and didn't think to mention it, but BFR Nav followed us 2 days ago. Thank you for the follow, sir. Sure appreciate you. So on with today. First off, yesterday, by the way, if you missed it, check out the YouTube video. Wow, is all I got to say. Memphis did a fair job. They, for some reason, refused to use runway 927, which is built for FedEx. They just refused to. You got to basically beg, plead, and prod them to get you, and bribe them maybe, to get you to use those runways, that runway. But that, aside, they had a great event, great job, both sides. Ground guy a little overwhelmed in Indianapolis, I'd say so. Holy mackerel, was there a lot of traffic in Indianapolis last night. Matter of fact, looked like a couple mid-air collisions could have occurred real easily. Whew. Thankfully, the weather wasn't crappy. So, but anyway, we had a fun time. Hope you enjoy that video. It's out there, been out there since last night, and it was fun. Even the hard landing, still fun event. 40-mile ILS. They just wanted to be like Los Angeles, folks. Come on. I know some of you were saying, I don't think we're going to pick a localizer up this far. Well, you do it in Los Angeles. I mean, you fly even further out on that localizer end. So, oh well. It was fun. A couple of good chuckles in there. Got to talk with some great people. Haven't talked with in a couple of years probably over at FedEx Virtual or FedEx Express Virtual. Let me get that straight because there is another one out there. And I was flying with the airline, like mentioned by the CEO. I've been with them pretty much since they started. As soon as I caught wind, they were out there, and not like the one of before them. I jumped on it. They've just got a great program over there. But today is another day. Today we are actually in the city. Next year will have already transpired FS Expo being at. We're in Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's right. Actually, it's on the St. Paul side, but you know, who's going to squibble? It's called Minneapolis, St. Paul. Um, so yeah, we're where the expo will be next year. If you haven't heard, oh, sorry. Yeah, you've heard now. I'm still trying to make it. I'm getting a little more and more skittish about if I'll be able to make it, but I'm going to do my best to make it. So it's only a 9-hour drive from where I live and maybe quicker by plane. Who knows? So, but anyway, that's still a good 9 months away. It's in June this year, by the way, or next year. My bad. So, but anyway, like I said, we're in Minneapolis. We're getting ready to fly to Detroit, and we are in the Felis 747-200. We are going to, I know it wasn't a very pleasant flight from Seattle to here with the LTN-92. Hopefully, after running through the videos a couple times, making a nice cheat sheet up, hopefully things will prevail. We'll see. Time's going to be the one to tell. Speaking of which, I'm going to put that over here right now. Okay. Curious, can I? No. Nope, I can't. I was hoping I could put it as a PDF and be done with it, but oh well. All right, so with all of this in mind, let's do like normal. Let's get in here, show what we're flying, because there is some interestingness. I have not changed the weather. We're real world weather here in Minneapolis, much the same here in St. Louis, where I am. And yeah, crystal clear skies. So let's crawl up in the cockpit. Now, I have got the flight engineer set up. I have not set up the pretty boy area, captain, co-pilot, because stuff has to happen here. Call them the pretty boys, because the guy that does all the work, that's this guy. He's got everything under his palm except getting you to where you need to be. That's their job. And they fail at it sometimes pretty badly. But yeah, that's what we got. And yeah, we're going to be using the LTNs right above the spoiler and flap levers. That's your captain, first officer. You can kind of figure that. Hey, look at that. They gave one for the flight engineer. Or at least that's what the guy said on the video. So that's what's in store today. So let's get back up here, bring Sim Toolkit in, and let's get this flight going. There's the surprise of the day. Where'd that come from? Big plop. Right where it needs to be, over Chicago. Did I say that out loud? Sending off its own fireworks up there. All right, so you can see the route we got planned. Colt 7 to DLL, to PORZL, to Rock City to arrival. Detroit, Rock City's where we're headed. All right, let's take a look. Now, for this flight, I am going to try to get to 349 as close as I can. And I'll show you how to do that. Now, the 16,400 pound cargo, probably not, but we'll see what we can do. We're going to aim for that 464-167. Sad news for many of you out there, you're pretty close to it with 349 people. So that's why I say we'll see. Fuel load today, maybe 56,200, maybe more. Who knows? Could be even, no, it shouldn't be less, because we still got to get over there and get to our alternate and still have 45 minutes of fuel. We're going to cruise at Mach 0.85 at 39,000. So hopefully that puts us on the top of that. Weather. All right. Well, well, actually, yeah. Let's see here. I was gonna say, it's gonna be really tricky there, but no, it's in Chicago where it's real tricky. 230 wind here at 12. The real world is shooting off on the 12s. I don't know why, but for some reason they are. 10-mile visibility. And we got a few clouds to pass through. Oh, there are a few clouds in the sky there. 15,000 feet and 25,000. 29 degrees, pushing 84 degrees in Minneapolis, St. Paul. Over in the Rock City, Motown. We basically have a variable wind at 4, 10-mile visibility. Got a few clouds to dodge coming in at 6,000. A little bit more pronounced scattered at 15,000 and 25. Beautiful day there. 81 degrees in the Motown Rock City. And going to be a fun flight. Good news for us, I'm already up and running on VATSIM, so nobody's gonna, well, they could still, because sometimes they don't look, and pop in on top of us. That's okay. They can do as they please. But there you have it one last time. All right, let's get to work here and start talking about the LTN. A couple of things have to be established first. The big one being do not move the plane until the aircraft is aligned. You don't want to believe this, Captain? Well, actually, I'm not a captain. But anyway, if you don't want to believe me, check out KAL 007. You'll learn a lot. It's either KAL or JAL. I forget if it was Korea or Japan. Yeah. What happens when you move an airplane while it's aligning with either SIVA or LTN? And technically with the FMSs too. Okay, so why I brought us here. So to use the LTN, you have to establish a solid source of electricity, be it your ground power unit or your APU unit. However, during the alignment, don't so during the alignment, don't start with your power being the GPU and then switch over during the alignment to your APU power. Don't know if that's modeled, but you're not supposed to do that. So we're going to stay on the GPU. Now, that does not mean I can't start the APU, have it ready, nor can I be running the bleed air off of it, just as long as I don't switch the power. We need that to stay solid and steady until we're aligned. And at that point, turn her loose. All right, so you can already see I've got the chocks in, the GPU and the ACU air conditioner connected. Ground or cargo, both are open, the bulk is open, and the front door is wide open. All right, once we do that, you can start on your checks. There's a lot to this plane. If you're not familiar with it and don't know where and what, I suggest a couple of flights with the FMC. Simplicity as best while you learn your panels and using your checklists. All right, we're going to try this again. Guess what? This guy did this last time and forgot stuff. That's why I like to run them, because that's how I catch. Oh, I forgot that. Oh, I forgot that. Oh, how did I forget to check the tires? There was one missing. No. So that's why I run them. I'm not going to run them again today for time's sake. I'm trying to give us enough time for a second flight, which I think could be an interesting one. We'll kind of see how it plays out. But yeah, I'm kind of hoping Twitch to be on a second flight today. If not, no big deal. We'll find out in flight. Okay, with that, let's get going. So like I said, over here, we are set up. So I've anything that says test, I'm going to tell you right now, test it. The reason being, if you do run the checklists, many of those items are off those tests that you did. I don't remember doing this one, so there we go. All right, and this is the little 4 switches that got me last time. I couldn't get started. All right, so you can see we're on ground power. Green lights are on with the gens. We're going to leave it there. We'll come back to load in a minute. Actually, you know what? Let's get it set up and then we'll start loading shortly thereafter. All right, so when you're here, just remember it said calculator. So it's just going to calculate what you need where you need it. Okay. So we said 349, I believe it was, peeps coming aboard. So I'm going to click 100%. What did that put us at? Good number. All right, let's back off a few up top. And all you got to do is put your cursor over. You can see what each location is up top here. Cabin 4321 upper deck. Huh, they match here. Go figure that one. And then we're just going to start backing them off. Trying to get down to 340. There we go, 349. Okay, now I'm going to quickly put in here, we're going 487 miles, so we'll put 500 up on the destination. We'll look at this in just a second, 39,000. All right, the tricky one here, tailwind. Think of it this way. If I tell you you've got a tailwind pushing you from your departure to your destination, what comes to mind? Less fuel. You're going to need just a little bit less fuel than if I told you you now have a headwind. Case in point, those of you that fly across the pond, twice a year it's an event VATSIM puts on, big event. A lot of people in the air. Many times you'll be in a 100-knot tailwind or a 100-knot headwind. Welcome to flying the North Atlantic. So with that, if you've got a tailwind pushing you, you theoretically should need a little less fuel than if you're pushing through that same wind coming back. Need a little more fuel. That's how you figure what you're doing here if you don't trust what you see. All right, so we need 56,000. Well, where are we right now? 43. Well, let's start taking this piece by piece. Tailwind, 18 on the tail. Okay, if I go positive, the number went down. See that? 43.5 for our total fuel. Go up to 10 knot tail positive. We're now 49. Whoa. How is that possible? Tailwind is negative 44. Now it just went up. And we're going to 18, so let's increase to 20. Wait a minute. Am I doing, wait. I think I just got myself turned around. There we go. That's the correct way. That is, we're going to have less fuel. Sorry, folks, got myself turned around. It's not easy at my age to get turned around. Wait a minute, why am I facing backwards? Oh, anyway, we'll put in our alternate now, which is Cleveland. And let me see how far we're away from Cleveland. 113 miles. I'm going to put 150 for now. I always run 10% on my contingency. And we'll hide that and taxi fuel. What did I say? Hang on a second. XE fuel. I think I said 30 minutes. Which doesn't help because it gives it in pounds. Taxi. Okay, it did it anyway. Okay, so it doesn't matter. We'll put it down as 30 minutes. 20 to the runway, 10 to the ramp. All right, now remember we said 56,262 pounds. Just want to check. All right, now we're up to 61,009. All right, so while yes, our overall trip fuel was lowering like it should, by the time we factored in our alternate, our contingency, and our taxi, it actually brought us up higher. So I think we're in a good shape. Now, the only other thing to point out, our estimated zero fuel weight for today, for 464,160 pounds. We're only off by 1,000 pounds. Now, you add here, it changes here. You add to the cargo, what we just did up here on the fuel calculator will change our fuel load. Let's go ahead. How about that? That is not bad. Oh, wait a minute. We're a little heavy. All right, if we just go with 500 pounds in each of the cargo 3 bins, we're 300 pounds over. Now, if you noticed, our fuel went up a little. Not much. You're only throwing 1,000 pounds in, so it's not going to be like, oh my gosh, you put on that much weight? Oh. So we're going to leave it at this, okay? Now we're going to get into getting these readied for action. Solid ground power set up. Not changing it right now. Okay, come up here and start doing your checks. So anti-skid on, body gear, steering armed. Coming down the middle. We'll get these guys aligning here in 1 second. Just do your quick checks. Everything looks good. Middle, we'll do our checks. Let's go ahead, get things starting to align. Radio master bus 1 and 2 on. Now, if I come down here, all right, let me set my ATIS that came in, 333. Triple three. Where is it? I lost it. Oh, there it is. 2. And exponder. All right, everything's ready to go here. And now you're going, well, why aren't the LTNs lit up? You turned the radio on. Yes, I did. Here's the reason why. You don't even see the gyros spinning up, do you? That's because we haven't started the alignment yet. Now, I normally, when I align, go to align and then nav. They told me I can go straight to nav. Okay, got the align lights on. And now the units are powering up and our gyros are moving. Very slowly, but nonetheless, they are moving. Click and click. All right, let's start this off. Okay, so first again, and foremost, establish ground power or APU. Do not switch between either during this phase, aligning it. Now you can kind of see it really well over here on the captain's side. Getting more pronounced on the first officer, but they're coming around. Okay, established ground power. Radio master bus essential and number 2 both on. Each INS switch to align. Or nav. Nav just puts you that one step closer. Okay, 3 switches each have to be moved. All right, now also one other thing for you to know, if you go under here, CDU1, and you've got each CDU down there. A lot of people forget that. I will be right back. All right, beg your pardon there, folks. I've been battling a stomach flu this most of this year, and wow, this too, as the proverbial phrase says, will pass, and we'll go a few weeks, and then it comes back. All right, but that's not going to deter us. So we've got our ground power, we got our radio masters on. If we look up now, the gyros look like we're used to. Okay. Now it's time. Check our cycle. If you update, make sure we're in the right one. We are 2506. Oh, excuse me. Date, time we'll be doing later. And now we're going to put the location in. So here's the tough part. Compliments of the sun. Clear. Now, SIVA guys, you have only one option, lat long, coordinates. We can lat long if we so choose, or just put in the airport. Now, I've been told the difference is not much, but I still am kind of a fan of doing it that way off the chords. Couple of ways you can find, uh-oh, they switched runways. Ah, finally, they're in alignment with the real world. The 3 zeros are active. Okay. good deal. Switching. 30 left. Maybe, if I can find it. Where the heck is 30? There it is. It's runway right behind me, for crying out loud. Okay, so let me get in here with charts. I'll show what I'm doing here. If I can find the button, there it is. Okay, so what I've done is I've brought up the charts. Gonna go ahead and hide it. Parking codes. Okay, we're in Gulf 6. All right, see if I can make this a little easier. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. However, comma, we're gonna do this. Hang on a second, my wife just got home. All right, sorry about that, folks. The wife just got home from Target. She had to make up for not spending any money a day or two ago at Target. Okay, so we're going to put in latitude, longitude, and then continue. All right, so it's going to be north 44. So we'll put in 4, 4, 4, 5, 2, 9, and this one's harder. Hang on. 5290. Okay, 4452.9. Enter. Now we put in the latitude, or yeah, latitude. Gosh darn it, I still did it wrong. I did it backwards. Okay. 4, 4. Okay, now we're in lawn. All right, hang on. I know why it's flashing at me. Latitude 44. No, we're in longitude. Oh boy. All right, latitude. Now it's gonna, okay, hang on. Let me get up here where I might be able to read it. Okay, I have to go here. No, I can't. I'm really running into a little frustration here. 8. There we go. I see where I was screwing up. Okay. 529er0. Okay, let me explain what I was doing. We'll do it on the next one. Enter. Now, GMT, enter. Date, good. This one is 5.5 minutes or so to align. Okay. All right. Now I know what I was doing wrong and I need to update my stuff. Okay. All right. I hope you saw all that. If not, we're going to do it down on this one. I figured out my mistake. All right. So clear to continue. Now we're going to hit the local lat lon again. So latitude north 44. You got to hit where it says 2N. We got to do it with the N and then the numbers come back. Okay. 44529. Now we've got the right, have we got the right numbers? 42, no, we don't. North 44 5, 2, 9. Okay, it's not 4 degrees latitude, it's 44. Throw the 0 in there. Enter. Longitude 093. Oh, wait a minute, we got to start west 093 128. Oh, come on. 180. Double checking. 9312.8. Enter, enter, enter. Status. Down here, may get a better look at it here. All right, so again, clear to continue. Latitude, north, 44, 52, 9, and again, it's 44, not 4. So put the 0 in, enter. Longitude, west, 093, 128. We're off by 1. I just realized I was using through 5. We're at 6. Oh well. Enter, enter, enter. Basically, we enter each of our let and lawn chords, enter the time, enter the date, and then we're set, and we'll put them on status for now. Now, we're in that point where we can't move the plane. And we can't switch over to the APU. Good thing for us, we can start the APU now. We just can't get on the generator right now. So bear with me a second, but we can during the alignment enter the flight plan. I'm going to do it up here because it's just a lot easier. Here's the flight plan. Now, you cannot enter airways. You cannot enter, like, for instance, on our route, Colt 7, can't put it in. But you can go get the chart and figure out your first fix. In our case, here, let me bring that up. Hang on a second. This may prove beneficial. Okay, so as we look at the Colt 7 up here, so we're gonna, our instructions are gonna read down here, 30 left or right, for assigned headings 220 clockwise to 360, cross 7 miles out at and above, maintain if unable, tell ATC. On transition or, okay, on to transition or assigned route, expect clearance 10 minutes or so after departure. Okay. So we're going to be heading off on a heading of either 220, which could be at bottom of this arc, all the way up. That's probably what I'm going to do. Then we're going to go direct taxi and then on with our departure. The Gopher VOR is what this is on. Technically, we could join it on VOR and go. So say we get turned, we could turn again and catch it here. We could. By the way, it says updated. So hang on a second. I just found a typo. There we go. So now we're going to click waypoint. P is your current position, be it on the ground, in the air. So if you want to ever come back to it, as the guy said, you're going to be coming back right where you are. So if I'm at limb-free, guess what? It's not going anywhere. That's your current, where you're located. So we're going to use taxi, T-A-X-E-E. Guess what? You can type that in. After you click enter. Tax. Enter. Then from there, Colt. C-O-U-L-T. Enter. Limb-free. You got to be careful here. L M F F F R Y. Okay, next on the list, Dells. A lot easier than SIVA, isn't it, folks? Still time consuming, but it's not as consuming, especially once you get a grip on it. Okay, from Dells, we head over to PORZL, P-O-R-Z-L. Enter. And we do the same thing with Rock City. All right, now let's take a look at this one. What are we planning for our arrival? Hang on, 2-1 left. All right, let's see what the real world's doing. Departing 2-1 right, 2-2 left. Arriving 2-1 and 2-2. Both long taxis. What? Kind of find that funny. 8,500 feet for takeoff with a 10,000 foot runway here. So I guess you could request it if your performance required it. All right, so we're going to plan a 2-1 left. I think this is one of those where... Oh, okay, Valley get you to all of them. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm just going to enter them in, just like you see at PORZL, Chief, Buck, Tender, Freely, Simmons, Rock City, Dream, and Valley. Okay. Bear with me. Okay. C H E F E Nice. Buck, this one could. B, U, C. A shock tender. And spelt wrong. T-I-N-D-R. Freely, F-R-E. E. And then S-M-M-N. R-K-C-T-Y. D-R-E-M-E-D-R-E, and finally Valley. Yes. So the answer to anyone's questions right now, yes, you can fly RNAV. Dang it. See, it's throwing me off here with that little number one. And I'll explain how it's right here, the A and the N, alpha and numbers. Numbers include 2N, 4, West 4, 8S, and that, as well as all of these and your up and down here. All right, so now the flight plan is entered. So if I go to flight plan, clear, enter, flight, oh gosh darn it, clear, numeric, flight plan. Okay, we are up to date. All right. Okay, so now let's copy these flight, oh. All right, so we're going to copy this flight plan over to the other one. Let me see if I can bring them up here. Nope, I didn't think so. That would be too easy, wouldn't it? All right, so we're going to do this. All right, let's see if I can remember how to do this now. Click remote. Select exfil. Enter. 13 waypoints to go. On the other two, we'll start with this one. We'll go, oh boy. Hopefully the sunglasses help. Okay, we're going to do it. Hopefully this will work. Good. All right, so we're on CDU2, which is this one. Let's go to remote. Now we're going to go to slave. Enter. Okay. And we'll do the same down here. Remote. Down. Enter. Okay, we have 13 waypoints. Takes about a second per waypoint. And then let me make sure. Click enter to transmit. Okay, and there they go. Again, a little longer here than you would normally. You could do this a lot quicker. I'm doing the transfer now, so everything's in order for takeoff. Crossfill is complete. Okay. Where the trickiness comes in with this thing is the sun. Okay. All right, so now we'll continue with everything else. Everything else looks good radio-wise. Do our couple of tests. Just running through here, making sure I didn't skip anything. Okay. Okay. All looking good. Okay. All right, let's get down here, do our up, downs, and left, rights. All right, so we need a runway here. Okay, we'll work off of 110.3. Okay, so we got the localizer. We will get the glide slope. Panel lights on, radio INS good. Up left. Okay, down right. Looks good. Okay, flight director looks good. Off, autopilot's off. 301. 20, we'll go to 5,000. I'll explain in a second here. Okay, vertical speed 0. We'll worry about these later. Off, flight director, good. Alt hold and select off. All right, let's go to same thing. Okay, glide slopes look good. And glide slope went down and good. All right, 17. Okay. Now, second row. All right, there isn't any over there. First test will be here. Okay, altimeters, let me double check since this has changed. Altimeters 2989. Okay, test the radar altimeter. Good. All right. Now I said I was going to explain the 5 here, the 5,000. You'll see in a moment. Good test. Altitude alert. You've heard this. Just checking it just to make sure everything's good. 5,000 is usually pretty close. I'll go ahead and set Colt Jet 7,000. Okay, just in case we get ATC. Okay, you never hear this on stream.
Pull up, glide slope, glide slope. Pull up, glide slope.
As Pinocchio here pushes his nose in. All right, and rudder ratio good. 3 green, landing gear down. Oh, we forgot. Push to test 1, push to test 2. And our glide slope, or our marker lights came on. Oop, got one more test to do. Okay, over to here. Now you're not going to hear an alarm over here. Marker test, good. All looks good. Brake pressure, let's get over here, get some brake pressure. Okay, and let's start warming up those CRTs. Okay, and I forget that all the time. All right, finally, trims or speed brakes down, flaps up, and showing 0, 0. Fuel levers cut off, parking brakes set, and frequencies aren't in there yet. But we are going to get Chicago. All right, dot CTAF KMSP. Looking at 26.7. Okay, 21.5, that's good. That's all good. Expounder, good. 333. Wait a minute, something's not right. Double check that. 333.2, There we go. All right, and everything's set down here. We are now ready for the final. Let's go ahead, since we're running way late. Get over here. Use data sheet. We're going to instantly fuel. And we're going to instantly put the people on. Magic. Didn't you know you're at Disney World here? Okay. All right. I think we're ready to push and start. I hope this works. All right. 30 left is 10,000 feet long, 842 feet on a heading of 3. Whoa. Dry temperature outside here in Minneapolis, 31 degrees. Pressure 2989, winds 230, 13. All right, 119, 125, 145 are our speeds, 2.9's trim, 18 nose up, 295. We'll need 6,500 feet of runway. Just going through, making sure nothing's missed. Okay, next. Actually, we're done with the alignment. We can come on to the electric APU. All right, bleeds on. Okay. While we're sitting at the gate, checking everything. Okay, bleed on. We're on APU. That means we can come off ground power. Okay, everything looks good here.
Cockpit to ground. Disconnect ground power.
Ground power disconnected.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. On behalf of the entire crew, welcome aboard the Boeing 747 Classic. We will depart shortly after we have our clearance and the cabin crew is finished with their preparations. For now, I wish you a pleasant flight, and I will be back during the flight with further flight information.
All right, y'all ready to go fly? Let me just come over here real quick. Okay, quality fuel panel. Get the bleeds here in a minute. All right. Leads are on. Hydraulic quantity checked. EPR computer. All right. Electric, air conditioning set, fire, equipment cooling, passenger, hydraulic panel, and we're set to go. All right. Let's get the jetway away when they're ready.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing. Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming. All right. Looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
All right, here we go. Sorry for the late run here, out of here. Still got a lot of work to do, and I can see it's coming when we get in flight. So we'll do the best we can. That's all we can do.
Cockpit to ground. Remove the chocks.
Chocks removed.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Tow's connected, bypass pins inserted. Go ahead and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
Parking brake released.
Here comes the pushback. Light 'em up.
Minneapolis, common traffic, northwest 744 heavy, pushing out at G6 for 30 left. Fuel pumps on.
Ready to start the engines.
Ready for engine start.
Cabin crew, arm slides.
All doors are closed and armed.
Starting engine 3.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Start of valve open.
this is your chief flight attendant. And on behalf of our captain and the entire crew, I wish you welcome on board. Please take your seats and fasten your seatbelt. Also make sure that your tray table has been stowed away and the back of your seat is in the
20% and 2.
We request your full attention as our cabin crew
Fuel
will
on.
demonstrate the
Light
safety
up.
features of this aircraft. When the seatbelt sign illuminates, you must fasten your seatbelt. Insert the metal fittings one into the other and tighten by pulling the loose ends of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened while in your seat. If you are
Starter off.
emergency exit, please read the instructions on the safety on board card. You will find it in the seat pocket in front of you. If you do not wish to perform the function
Engine stabilized.
in the event of an emergency, please ask the flight attendant.
Starting engine 4.
There are several
Start of valve open.
emergency exits on this aircraft. Please take a moment to locate the nearest exit. The exit may be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft, floor level lighting will guide you towards the exit. Doors can be
20% and 2.
the handle in the direction
Fuel
of the
on.
arrow.
Light up.
Each door is equipped with an inflatable slide, which may also be detached and used as a raft. In the event of a decompression, oxygen mask will appear automatically in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you. Place the mask over nose and mouth, adjust the headband and breathe normally.
Starter off.
If the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing to the mask. If you are traveling with children or someone who requires assistance, please secure your own
Engine stabilized.
before helping others.
Starting engine 1.
until a crew member
Starter valve open.
asks you to remove it. In the event of an emergency, please assume the brace position.
Starting engine 2.
With your hands
Starter
on
valve
the
open.
top of your head and your elbows against your thighs. Ensure your feet are firmly
20% and 2.
A life vest is located under your seat or between
Fuel
your
on.
armrests.
Light up.
When instructed, open the plastic
20%
bag
and 2.
remove the vest. Slip your head through the opening
Fuel
Just
on.
about done here.
Light
Go ahead and
up.
set your parking brake.
and attach it in front.
Parking brake set.
Door opening.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
Tag. More air can be added by blowing into the tube.
All right.
Use
Starter
the
off.
control and light to attract attention. All electronic devices must be set in airplane mode during flight until further
Starter
notice
off.
on arrival.
Engine stabilized.
Let me remind you that this is a non-smoking flight. Also, the use of electronic cigarettes, tampering with smoke detectors
Engine stabilized.
located in the left reach is prohibited by law. You will find this and all the other safety procedures in the Safety on Board card, located in the seat pocket in front of you. We advise you to read the card before takeoff.
Okay. We're just about ready here. Hang on a second. I lost the screen. There it is. It's like, where could it have gone?
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the left. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
I'm going to try this VATSIM thing. Okay, we're ready to go. Let's real quick look it over. All right, start switches off, brake beacons on, pressure, engine, anti-ice pack valves back open.
Yeah, Minneapolis traffic, southwest 1665, clear the area, Minneapolis, see you.
Okay. Cargo heat normal. Okay. And the flight panel, electrics. Perfect. Okay, we're shutting the APU down. Taxi checks. Wrong switch. There we go. Flaps. What did we say? 10? Flaps 10. Okay.
Flaps 10.
Okay. Out of curiosity, being a heavy, probably would be smart to go down and out so the wings aren't a problem. Okay. Okay, stape trim. Set. Probe heat on. Flight controls checked, APUs off, fuel heats off, totalizer, APU cargo heats on. Next check for before takeoff as we go. Here we go. Hope you're all strapped in, ready to go. Sorry, I'm using those
Parking brake
checklists
released.
because I miss things.
Cabin ready.
Again, we are in X-Plane 2.1, Beta 1. For those curious, as it says in the title of the stream today, we are getting our first look at it. It came out this morning. For me, I know this afternoon for some of you in Europe. But so far, so good. I mean, I don't think we're going to see much change in this one, only because it was primarily aimed at scenery items you can put into airport sceneries, those people that make them need, and a heliport was added. You don't want to see me flying You thought I couldn't fly these airplanes? Yeah, wait till you see me in a helicopter. Oh, that is scary business. You need to clear the entire country out when I fly. All right, here we go. Let's tell the... Excuse me.
Cabin crew, take your seats.
Okay, takeoff checks. Cabin alert received. Ignition to flight start. Hang on. Nice quick start right at the top of the line. Everything's set. Seatbelt lights on. Lights are all on. And takeoff dry and all right, we're, I think, ready to go, except for the body gear, steering, pressurization, fuel boost pumps on, and cross feeds are set up top. Okay, that part's set, fuel pumps on. All right, here we go. Did we turn the parking brake on? No, we did not. And Minneapolis traffic, northwest 744 heavy, departing 30 left.
Southwest, you've got a Delta on short final for 30 left.
Appreciate it. We'll hold right here.
They're all on Unicom.
Yeah, kind of figures. I got called out once for not being on this 20 miles out, and none of them get called out.
Oh, I hear ya.
Oh, don't worry. They're just gonna come.
All right, body gear, steering.
Stabilized. Thrust set.
80 knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate. Gear up.
Minneapolis traffic Delta 1678 descending 10,000 feet inbound ILS 12 right, Minneapolis.
Gears up.
And Minneapolis traffic, Northwest 744 heavy out of the area. Over to Unicom.
Final runway 37 left.
Flaps 5. Flaps up. 10,000.
What we're doing is setting them up to update. You click status, down arrow, expand, up, down to enable, and then all right, and then down here we get this one, status, enter, whoop, expand, won't let us, I don't think, we'll see. Anyway, we've got them all set up, and we'll just go to status here. And here, and we're on course, direct taxi. We're going to find out how we're doing. We're going to switch into INS, and 20 miles. Oh, we need to speed up. Sorry, folks. And kind of forgot that part of the equation. I'll explain a little more with this in a second. Let's get this plane accelerating. 295, okay. Okay, back to VS. Flaps are up. Make sure, because when you look at it from over in the first or captain spot, it will look sometimes like they're up and they're actually in notch 1 degree. And as we approach 295, we'll switch back to IAS. Then we'll catch you up with what all we've done, and hopefully everything looks good. And sorry if I missed you in the chat. If you haven't figured it out, I've been a little on the busy side. All right, we do have one more thing to pull up. Chicago Center. It's going to be 34. Close enough. 34,875. All right, and now we should be getting ready to make that turn. If I did it right. If not, we'll turn away from it. We'll see. So far. And there's the turn. Okay, got a lot of work to do still, but we're got to refine my notepad here a little bit. But yeah, we're starting to cook with a little Crisco. Yeah, it's a work in progress, folks. Second flight with it, by the way. So it's going to take a little bit to get used to. The good thing is we've got our flight plan on all three. We've got our INS updating, which we're about to explain here in a second. And everything's going like it should. Except one nagging thing. Did I put... No, I did not. Okay, cool. Now, you can use... Okay, for updating the INS system, try mixing. I will refer you to the notes about how to... Hang on, I'm going to put it in the chat room here. Oh, crud. No, I'm not easily. Anyway, there's two really good YouTube videos, a quick start and a longer version. Quick start's about 40 minutes long. The complete guide is about a 2.5-hour video, and it'll cover trimixing. It'll cover every aspect of this system, and that's where I'm building this off of. Is that series of videos, 2 videos, and they really help. The problem is, greetings, bad attitude. Welcome aboard the 747 using the LTN nav system. So, but updating. Now, like I said, this has to be kept updated. He gives some great examples, sort of, kind of. If you were paying attention in the whole video, he actually was off course to start with when he... Anyway, but to update, you got to be on a VOR beacon that is up to the task. Gopher, which is north of Minneapolis St. Paul Airport, and Nodine, I knew for sure. Those are 2 very strong, very powerful beacons out there. Tune them in. You're getting updated right now, but you're going to have to do this along the route. So now, as you get too far, your updating light will go out. If you're too close, your updating light won't lit. So it's a balance. That's why you got to kind of have a map up with you, just so you can kind of look for these. The next one I'm thinking of using is Badger, and once we pass Dells, that'll work. And then maybe I'm thinking Victory might be okay. We'll see. But you just got to kind of pick and choose. Flint will work just fine for this. So you got to kind of... That's something you're going to have to brief so we can get these dials set up when we get to about 120, 130 mile out. And like I said, we get within about 20, 30 miles of these VORs, you might lose the update light. SIVA guys, you know about this. Coast in, coast out. You follow that out as far as you can, and you have to be on intersecting radials. Here you don't. I could actually track DLL, so which is our final fix on the Colt 7 departure. So that is key to this system. And now let's talk oceanic flying with it. At that point, you are going to try to find the furthest out VOR and have that for your updating. Okay, they're gonna update through them all, but you want that furthest one out, because once you get past it, there's nothing till you start getting in range, unless you're lucky enough to be north on the northern tracks and catch Iceland maybe, or maybe southern Greenland. And I mean, you're only going to catch them for a few minutes. You're going to be getting frequencies set up to grab you as soon as you get within that sweet spot to update. And then your track will begin to get back online with where you want. So it could be fun on a, especially since technically the controllers can't see you over the ocean. Probably in VATSIM they can, and they get a little upset when you drift, but that's called INS flying. So that drift can be a mother. So that's how we control that. All right, we are through 34,000. We are just about Mach 0.85. When my dial reads it, I'm going to switch into the switch the selector to Mach and take us on up. Just about now. Now at this point, we still got 4,000 feet to go. And Chicago, you're interrupting me. Sit down. Sit down, boy. You interrupted me. Sit down. Hang on. Let's make them happy. We do not want Chicago unhappy. Chicago Center, Northwest 744, climbing 36,439.
Northwest 744, Chicago Center, radar contact, welcome. Chicago Center, 73, FedEx 138.
Now, at this point, the speed bug's
FedEx
useless.
Chicago Center, welcome. Chicago Center, Southwest 3781, 5040, about 40 miles southeast of Fort Wayne. Southwest 3781, Chicago Center, radar contact, welcome.
All right, let's see how the storms look. By the way, bad attitude if you didn't catch the emails and, or not emails, Discord messages and all. We are flying in X-plane 12.2.1 or dash beta 1. You know what that means. And if you don't, you know that means 3.0 is not far away.
119.0, good day, car looks 51 going.
Now, how many betas we go through this? Shouldn't be many. Like I've said in the beginning, all they updated, so their message says, are some scenery items that they can choose, and they added an airport. So that would be the only real new betas that would be out here, is those, the airport.
Stand by.
And one other thing
181, runway 7, taxi via Foxtrot.
with this airport, or with this aircraft, always make sure you have altitude select showing when climbing or descending. Otherwise, you're going to blow through that altitude. Just so you know, I've done it a million times. All right, I am going to switch us. That'll work. I forgot to put us on climb.
Chicago approach, good morning again. American 760 climbing through 11,000 for 15000 direct to Cito. American 760 Chicago Center, hello, climbing tape level 360, resume normal speed. 360, resume normal speed, American 760. Southwest 3781, cross Haley, add and maintain 6,000, midway altimeter 3013. Cross Haley, add and maintain 6,000, Southwest 39.
All right, we are starting into that nastiness that's over Chicago. Not because it's Chicago. Oh, it looks like it's breaking up. She's breaking up, Captain. She's breaking up.
Push to start your discretion, advisory taxi, expect runway 19 right. Expect runway 19 right, Alpaca 1091, contact Chicago approach 119.0. Over Chicago approach 119.0, Alpaca 1091, thanks so long. See ya.
All right, so let's see how we're doing on these updates. Currently, getting long on Gopher. So let's pull in Badger 116.4. That's kind of far out. Okay, that's because we haven't. And again, we can use Dells, which is our final. So, or our final on Colt 7.
Chicago Center, Delta CT44150, 5 little 370.
Overall, though, I think we're okay. Yeah, we're descending, raising, perfect. After Badger, let's look at, is that Joliet? No, wait. Northbrook. Ooh, that would be a good one, too. As we truck across Lake Michigan, but I want to get one on the other side. We'll kind of watch, but that's kind of what you got to do. Now, we're level, flight level 390. This is good time, put the switch in hold. That way, if you bump it, move it, the aircraft won't respond. So it just stays at 39. So when this guy tells me to send, I think he'll tell me. Descend via Rock City approach or Rock City arrival. We'll set the altitude and drop. Okay, so pretty simple, straightforward deal here. Like I said, we got the thunderstorms starting to show up here, and we're cruising in for Detroit.
Chicago Center, it's UPS 2181, holding short, runway 7, ready to go. UPS 2181, roger. Fly runway heading, runway 7, clear for takeoff. Fly runway heading, runway 7, clear for takeoff, UPS 2181.
So I hope you've all had a great week. It's Friday for those that forgot.
Tango turn base at the blue dot. Correction, the turn base at the tower, runway 18 right, clear to land. Base at the tower, runway 18 right, clear to land. 615, thank you.
Not sure what that was all about, but anyway. I hope you've all had a great week. Here in the States, many have had a shortened week because of Independence Day today. Happy Independence Day, happy 4th, however you want to call it. But the happy Independence Day. Don't see any alien spaceships, so we know the movie isn't going to reenact today. Maybe next year. Hang on.
Berlin 03, runway 19 right, taxi via Bravo Echo, cross runway.
Ear was driving me nuts. But anyway, I hope you all have a great 4th. Be safe with the fireworks tonight. Should be a fun time, not a time in the hospital. Or worse, burning someone's house down. All right, according to this, we're getting ready to cross over the Dells. Once we cross the Dells,
3146, cross Haley at and maintain 6,000, midway altimeter 3013. Haley at 6,000, southwest 3146.
I wonder if there's like an event going on. Man, they got top to bottom at O'Hare. Okay, we are now direct PORZL, I think it's called. PORZL. And I think we're gonna get descent. I'm gonna go worst case scenario. Oops.
Number 15 Tango, where are you parking? We're going to be heading over to Basler, the FBO. Chicago Center, UPS 2181 is climbing through 4,500. Number 15 Tango, taxi via Alpha and cross runways 3127 and 23 to the FBO. Alright, to Basler via Alpha, cross 3127 and 23, 615, thank you.
So as we come into Chef, we'll start our descent.
Climbing through, holding steady at 5,000. UPS 2181, roger. You're clear direct Bodie, climb maintain level 390, resume normal speed. Clear direct Bodie and climb maintain 390, resume normal speed.
All right. So I hope you've all enjoyed.
UPS 2181 heavy.
We just. So this was kind of a second time gave troubles, let alone my stomach, but let alone we ran into a couple of issues. This guy trying to put things in. Again, second time with the LTN. So you can see it's getting better. We got off the ground quicker this time. Granted, it took an hour, but we're ting our best to get it up to date. And I wanted you all still to see this. And that is part of the reason I just use the FMS. It's just a lot quicker. So it's already a plane that is procedure required. So,
Chicago Center, Northwest 427 at General Mitchell with uniform clearance to Las Vegas.
And the aircraft requesting clearance to Vegas, who was again?
That's Northwest 427.
Northwest 427 have a PC here in about 10 seconds.
Roger that.
all right, is Air Canada showing up? Yes, they're ahead of us. Good. Let's see if we can see a contrail. Yep, just out in the distance.
Kansas City Center on fly, register terrain change to conference. Chicago Center is still Aviation, climbing through 10,000 up to 15,000. Indoor 18 Chicago Center, climb maintain flight level 320, reaching 13,000, resume normal speed. Climb maintain level 320, 180, resume normal speed, Aviation. Kilo 57 India.
Stand by for UPS 2181.
Roger. If you're unable, you can just continue on course, it's fine. Crew 1103, radar contact, say altitude climbing. Every 1103, radar contact, say altitude climbing.
Chicago Center, UPS 2181 is clear direct to Kilo 57 India.
Crew 1103, Chicago.
And Chicago Center, Northwest 427, General Mitchell, ready to taxi 19 right, and we have Victor now.
Northwest 427, roger, runway 19 right, taxi via Kilo Echo, cross runways 31 and 25 right.
Okay, 19 right, Kilo Echo, and cross both runway, is that cross runway 31?
31 and 25 right.
Okay, 31 and 25 right, 25 right.
Southwest 3781, contact Chicago, approach 119.0. Southwest 3781, contact Chicago, approach 119.0. See ya. United 511, Kansas City Center offline, research terrain, changing top route.
Tab 2185, Chicago Center, with Union 13, tab 4150.
SkyWest 4185, Chicago Center, climb maintain, level 280, resume normal speed.
Speed 280, Chicago 4185.
Route 1103, Chicago. Route 1103, radar contact, stay altitude climbing. Currently at 5,000 feet, Chicago Center, United 1921, climbing to 15,000.
Chicago Center, Southwest 234, level up, checking in slow. Version 12,000.
For 1103, you're clear direct Maddie, and climb maintain 16,000.
Oh, some flak. Somebody shooting at us in the Lake of Michigan.
Climb maintain, or just maintain, climb Maddie at 12,000, sorry about that. 12,000.
Chicago Center, Legion 322, flight level 360 and about 12 from the can.
Legion 322, Chicago Center, radar contact, welcome. United 511, I don't know if I already did it, but KC Center's offline, research terrain, change to comprehensive. Okay, did Southwest 234 check on?
Yeah, we did 12,000.
Southwest 234, Chicago Center, climb maintain level 370, resume normal speed.
370, normal speed, Southwest 234.
Skywest 3603, check on.
Okay, in about 37 miles.
And then United 1921, you check on.
About 10 mile out, we'll request descent.
1921, Chicago Center, climb maintain level 310, resume normal speed.
310, normal speed, 1921.
Southwest 1300, taxi.
Chicago Center, Skywest 14,000 for 15,000.
Thanks,
Center Northwest 811. We're going to be needing descent here shortly for Detroit.
Northwest 744, roger. Set off description, maintain flight level 230.
230 at our discretion, Northwest 744 heavy. Wasn't sure if he was going to just go ahead and go boink to Unicom, but you never know with these guys. Now you see how I'm scrolling this down and nothing's happened. If I was in altitude select, we would be in a descent.
And FedEx Direct Taxi, say again what your report you're at.
Chicago has FedEx 76 on.
FedEx, roger, you can contact Chicago approach for taxi 119.0.
Okay.
19.0,
Okay, 2-3 tenders. What he's doing will be a 280 at that point. That's cool. How far out are we? Time for descent. Click, click. Now, it's not going to start the descent till you tell it. So you're not a step behind it, getting it under control.
SkyWest 3603 Chicago, you on?
Okay, and then Bucky, after Chief, Bucky, and Tender. We're just going to fly in controlling it. Okay, then if we get a controller, we line up. But right now, we're looking at... oh, I haven't chose a runway. You know what? Hang on. Duck on it. Cancel.
Northwest 427, radar contact, climb maintain, flight level 320, say current altitude.
Okay, 320 and I'm passing 2.7 now, Northwest 427.
So 21 left, 22 right.
Okay, proceed on course.
21 left, 22. Okay, so the outer. So we'll go 21 left. And as you can see, there's a lot of transitions here. I think count is one. That's the one we'll use. Can't set it in there like you could the FMS. However, we'll line up with it with the VORs. Geez, I'm going to have to look for another VOR. I think I said Flint. 16.9. All right. Now we'll come up here. Well, we'll try and get a better flight yet with this. We got a trick up our sleeve for the next Northwest flight we fly with it. We'll see how it works out and when we can do it. But right now we are in our descent for Detroit on the Rock City arrival, coming up to Bucky, then Tender. Over to Unicom, Southwest, or correction, Northwest 744 Heavy. Have a good night. Whoops. That was great. Whoops. Trying to help the image of Southwest. All right, so folks, we are now coming down and headed for it. Let's see. I'm going to set 210 now. I prefer the lower numbers. Actually, we'll just split the middle on this one. And that's by Tender. And we're at 280, so that's cool. Weather. Let's turn that on, see what we got. A little bit. You know what? Let me pull this up for you. Let me bring charts back over. All right, hang on. I'm going to get rid of... Well, first off, here is real world ATIS for the arrival. 29 is the temperature. 3011, we're still a good distance out. Simultaneous approaches to 21 left, 22 right. Use Zulu for the localizer frequency. La, 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 la. Then there's a departure one, so be careful with this one. There are two. Convective SIG 97C for Michigan and Ohio. So there are SIGs in place here for thunderstorms, for that big blob right there, blobs. Now 2 headed for Detroit, plus we got a blob a little bit to the north. Let's take a look. Okay, got nothing there. Got a little cloudiness off to the north, but not much. But anyway, that's what we're looking at. Now, when we switch to the charts, we lose a lot of this. So that's why you see me hang. What do we got here? Cleveland says descend, Rock City. No kidding. Really? Anything prior to it? There's my squawk. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I already knew all of that. Okay. Just making sure I didn't see Cleveland. Okay. We're coming into Tender. Going to continue our descent. Well, we'll let it level off and then we'll do it. Hang on. All right. We need to drop to 16. Okay, we're descending. And let's go with still the same. 280, 260. Okay. The dog's getting a little anxious for tonight because of the impending fireworks. just make sure I mashed on that. Okay, lock the door. All right, folks, we are inbound Detroit. All right, our altimeter was 3011. Correct? Yeah, 3011. Okay. Okay, we'll just continue in. I'll be right back, folks. Stand by. Sorry about that. The dog is just acting really weird here, and way too early for fireworks to be bugging him. So I was just making sure no one was accidentally leaving stuff on and all that good stuff. All right, so we're coming up to Simmons at 12,000. We're going to go ahead, set the speed dial to 260. As we continue this descent, let's get the speed brakes out. All right, and I'm going for 11,000 just actually, and I may set 6,000 here soon, just so we're ready at Valley. All right, everything should be up to date. I'm about ready to tune in at Rock City, our VOR. I'm not going to worry about updates at this point. All right, there's 260. Okay, we're just a few miles off Rock City, about 6. And we'll make that turn direct valley. Matter of fact, let me get this set to 113.
Cabin crew, prepare for landing.
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare for landing. 10,000.
Actually, let's do it properly. Landing runway is 10,000. Airport 600 feet. Landing 210. Dry temperature, we said, I believe, 29. Okay. 3011. And our current wind, 270. What speed? 4. All right, so medium, max. Okay, medium looks good. All right, checklist. Oh, yeah. And one more item.
Cabin ready.
1,000 to level off.
All right, we're leveling at 6,000. We'll get ready to start bringing in some flaps here in a few. And while I'm at it, $35.0. Okay, we're going to go heading. First off, over. Okay, so we're completely done now with the INS. So we can tune in our localizer. 1115. No need to worry about, oh, we do need a course, 216. No need to worry about the, hang on a second. Okay, we're good. Just making sure. Yeah, we got no worries here for need of both for landing, for the auto land. I'm trying to get the right words out. And all right. And what do we got? 13.4. Let's go with that. Maybe we can get a DME. 22 miles out. Hey, and it's actually good for updating. How about that? All right. All right, speed brakes armed. Exterior lights, auto brakes, INS is just
Approach checklist, please.
Seatbelts and shoulder harness.
Check.
Seatbelts and no smoking signs.
On.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Exterior lights.
Check.
Auto brakes.
Medium.
Radio INS switches.
Radio.
Flight director computer selectors.
Check.
Brake pressure.
Check.
Altimeters.
1020. Set and cross check.
Landing data, EPR and airspeed bugs.
Set and cross check.
Seatbelts and shoulder harness. Check. Fuel panel. Check. Fuel heat. Off. EPR computer. Let's see. Go around. Cabin altitude. Check. Circuit breakers. Check. Approach checklist completed.
all right. So we're good for landing. Tigers is where we're going to be between Count and Tigers. And I'm going to say Okay, I think we're in good shape here. Looks like 147, so we'll plan about 157 down the approach. Call it 160. All right, here we go.
Localizer alive.
Detroit traffic, Northwest 744 heavy, established runway 21 left. Okay, glide slopes in. Runway in sight.
Flaps 5.
Okay, established fully and descending on the glide path at 13 miles out. Detroit traffic, Northwest 744 heavy, approximately 13 mile out on the ILS for 21. Correction, 21 left.
Metro traffic, Delta 1891, 5.5 mile final, 21 left, Metro.
Gear down. Gears down, green light. Flaps 10. Flaps 20. Flaps 30.
Landing checklist.
Gear.
Down and check.
Down and check. Flaps.
Damn. Flaps 25.
Flaps 25. Spoilers.
Armed.
Ignition.
Flight start.
Anti-skid.
Check.
Altimeters. 1, 0, 2, 0. Set and cross-checked. Landing checklist completed.
And Detroit traffic, Northwest 744, 6 mile final, 21 left.
$1,000.
Metro traffic, Delta 1891, clearing runway 21 left, Metro.
And Detroit traffic, 3-mile final for Northwest 744 Heavy.
500. Approaching minimums.
Landing.
Minimums.
Landing and stable.
Pull
40,
up.
30, 20. 10. Check reverse. Auto brake off. 60 knots. Out, off, reverse.
She just wanted to float. Be curious where touchdown and what we did on that one. And Detroit traffic Northwest 744 off at the end to the south terminal.
Flaps up.
All right. Well, it looks like we landed at about 400 feet a minute. We'll see when we get in what the airline got us at, how many feet down the runway, all that good stuff. All right.
After landing checklist.
Brake pressure.
Check.
Body gear steering.
Hold on. Arm.
Outer brakes.
Off.
Ignition.
Off.
Engine and wing anti-ice.
Off.
Radar and transponder.
Standby.
Flaps.
Up.
Spoilers.
Damn. Down.
Stabilizer trim.
7 units.
Outflow valves. Open. Pressurization mode selector. Let's see.
What?
Manual.
Oh, I went one too
Off
many.
cargo heat. Let's see. Off. APU. Check. Checklist completed.
I turned in one early. Doggone it. That's okay. We'll just go up one more and come down the alley. Okay, a lot of work there. I missed it. I wanted J9, not J, what did we come up, J7? So as you can tell, a lot to learn still on this LTN. There are some features I'm not using just because trying just to get the basics. But you can bring in your course, your legs, by just some clicks. You can show how far, how many miles. Say, for instance, you're on a North Atlantic track. Your position report is going to include where you're at, the one you just passed, the next one, how many minutes out, how many minutes out after that, your fuel and all of that. Well, fuel and altitude and all of that's not figured in, but you can get those times off of it that way. So really, even though, you know, you can't get everything we're kind of used to right now, you can get quite a bit. So we'll keep working at it. You never know. I mean, I'm not disliking it. The reason I don't use SIVA is it popped a code on me that nobody knew, including the folks at SIVA, not Felis. We're talking way back when. I think I saw a Facebook post or something. Who remembers ready for pushback 747-200? It's in a century of flight and FS 2002 model, I believe. Yeah. So it goes that far back. By the way, that's Flight Sim 2004 for those of you that may or may not have been around at that point. All right, we're going to take gate 40 here. I think that's going to be this one. So, yeah, that was quite a while ago. But I'm glad someone, well, someone asked, could you do the LTN? He said, I think you would like that. I get your SIVA issue. And again, it has nothing to do with this was not a Felis product then. So
Parking brake set.
all right, so how about that one? All right, let's get up here to the APU real quick. Bleeds on. Just kind of looking over things real quick. Lights are off. Double check radars. Okay, everything's standby. We're good. And shutting them down. Oh, let's get those flight directors off. They don't need to be on the ground. All right. The bad thing is, okay, there go the engines. All right, double checking. We are on the gens. We've got the bleeds on. We can turn the chillers off.
Cockpit to ground. Put the chocks on. Cockpit to ground. Connect ground power.
Chocks are on. Ground power connected.
Cabin crew, disarm slides.
I did it again. Oh, well. All right, beacons off. We're in. All right, let's run this quick checklist over here and be done with it.
All right, secure cockpit checklist.
Brakes.
Parked.
Beacon lights.
Off.
INS.
Align.
Probe and window heat.
Dang.
Off.
Back valves. Check. Fuel boost pumps. This. Off. Reserve tank valves. Closed. Hydraulic panel. Check. Oxygen. Check. Flight recorder. Off.
All right. That's where we're going to pause it. All right. Well, let's take a look into this flight, shall we? First off, we're going to do it. Hang on a second. Put that down there. Okay. Let's see here. All right, let's look at Pegasus. Look at that, 272. We'll take it. We'll take it. It does actually, it said it took me 4,600 feet to land. Oh no, I landed in. So I'm sure that's gonna hurt us. Ooh. Hang on a second, I saw something that I want to look at more in depth. Huh. Oh, there it is, 88 feet per minute. Okay. All right. I was like, did I land at 88 knots? So we'll file it. We'll get back to that in a minute. Okay. Let's go ahead and remove Sim Toolkit overlay. Let's take a look at this real quick. From Elevatech first. Again, this is available for you. I don't have links and all for you. But, you know, I was part of the beta team. It's a good product. I wish it would have more of what Sim Toolkit has. But, you know, each product has its own thing. Problem is, this one kind of follows suit with Volanta and a few others out there. But it's a good tracking program. As you can see, the weather has actually really diminished up here. So anyway, we're hiding out here. Now, here's what I talk about. When you come on, I don't care if it's an event or right now when it's dead. Make sure you don't come into a gate with someone. So, and you can tell they'll be white or green. Don't jump in on them. Some of you love to do that. I know. Don't get. So try not to jump in on people, you know, spawn in. I know some of you like to do that. Don't know what you get out of it, but hey, you know, I'm not going to move my plane. So you're going to have to deal with it. Now, I occasionally will forget my own advice here. And yeah, spawn in on someone. But when I realize it, I will move the aircraft. But if you spawn in on me, you're going to find out I ain't moving. All right. So that's one way you can find it. I'm going to zoom out. There's a nice thunder shower to the north end of Detroit, or actually going through the city. Let's get rid of Elevatech. And now the tool I like is Sim Toolkit. Quite frankly, the only thing I don't like is it doesn't update well. As you saw on Elevatech, it didn't. Let me try something here. And it doesn't save well either, and I don't get that. Those of you very familiar, I'd love to talk to you. All right, they got us at 445 feet per minute. Oh, I didn't look at that on Sim Toolkit. Hell, hang on. Elevatech. (272, 139, 1.1G). Oh, far cry better than last night. All right. Complete the flight here. Now, the opening bits of information are identical to what you just saw. Okay, there's our Northwest flight, 445 for our feet per minute, and you can see last night's. Yeah, that half the story. Okay, if you click View Details, though, this is where Sim Toolkit begins to divert. Okay, here's what you get with Volanta. And by the way, you got to pay for Volanta. You don't have to pay for anything here. I have yet to run across anything for payware here. And now, let's see how much runway we really ate up. A lot, half of it. And we were 30 feet off the center line. All in all, not great, not bad, but not where you really wanted to be. I really thought we were going to touch down here, but I think what happened, I heard the GPWS spooling numbers quick, and I pulled the nose maybe just a hair too much. Pulling me up and then floating it back down took a lot. So that's what I think happened. Unfortunately, that part doesn't show here. But you want to land up here in this big white pad. That's what you aim for. And your PAPIs, your ILS, all aim to put you in there. Okay. Now the weight, speed, a lot of variables will factor in to floating down the runway. And it happens, folks. I've watched a Legion aircraft, perfect approaches. I mean, downright to the, looking perfect, and then they just float. And I mean float. And then they touch down and so forth. And as you can tell, there were some touchdowns down here. Me being one of them. And then at the other end, same thing. Now we're parked roughly somewhere in here. All right, so that was not a bad flight. A far cry better than last night's. I hope y'all enjoyed. There goes Air Canada blasting out of here. Delta will be here shortly. I thought we had a couple of others. Maybe they signed off. But anyway, let's see. We are gonna do this, gonna do that. Yep, everybody's off the plane. All right. Let me check a couple things. Just kind of looking around, seeing what others are flying. So, all right. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to go ahead for the YouTube crowd wrap up here. Thank you so much for being here. One thing I'm remiss in always saying is, hey, if you're new to the channel, you like the content you see, hey, I'd love for you to subscribe to us, hit that like button. It really means a lot to us. Maybe YouTube, but for me personally, it lets me know there's people out there listening and learning. If you're on Twitch, hey, smash that follow button if you haven't already. Join the family. Both options, both in Twitch and YouTube, are free. The cost is an email for Twitch letting you know when we go live next, YouTube when we drop a video. This one will get dropped later. Again, I highly recommend watching last night's foray into Indianapolis. That was a trip. So, all right, hang on a second. Didn't want to cough in your ears. So we're going to go ahead and say goodbye to our YouTubers. Twitch, hey, hang on. We are going to do this second flight. So if you would please stand by. Let me get things reset here so that we can fly the second flight. And I think you're going to enjoy. Oh, hopefully hopefully, let's put it this way. Let's hope it's a good flight. Let me just check one thing while I'm here. Oh, yeah. I think this would be a great day for it. All right. So we'll see you all later, YouTube. We'll post both videos up in the next few days. Probably this one pretty quick tonight. The second one, we'll see when, how things are going as to when to put it up there. But for now, y'all have a great day at YouTube, Twitch, hang on. And we'll see you on the next flight, YouTube. And for now, praise the Lord at all times. I will constantly speak of his praises. David, King David of Israel, penned that psalm. And boy, you ever want to read Samuel 1 and 2, at the end of Samuel 1 and Samuel 2, what a life David lived. Wow. Many of us complain, boy, what a life he had. King of Israel, anointed, hunted down by the king who was in place that God had shoved basically away. And took him a while, but he did become Israel's, one of the big things that many of the Israelites look to is the King David-like individual coming back, not knowing it was actually Jesus Christ. So, all right, so praise the Lord at all times, constantly speak of his praises. We'll see you all on the next flight. God bless.